Over the past 3 years, I've edited over 500 YouTube videos, and honestly, for a good chunk of them, I made exactly $0. However, last year, in just under 8 months, editing videos made me over $50,000. So in this video, I'm going to give you 10 lessons that will take you from making a grand, maybe 2 per month, to 5 or 10k in no time whatsoever. Lesson number 1 is to productize your editing. As a video editor, you are classed as a freelancer and you're delivering a service. However, the closer you can get your service to a product, the more money you will make. All this means is getting your time to deliver a video as low as physically possible. This is because for our clients, it looks like a done-for-you service. However, on our end, it's delivering like a product. So how do we do this? Turning video editing from a service into a repeatable product. First, you need to ditch the perfectionist mindset. You're no longer making 3D animations in After Effects craft perfectly. We're making high quality videos that we can deliver fast. Instead of cutting all of your footage manually, in today's day and age, you can just use AI. The software that I've found works best is Gling.ai. All you have to do is drag and drop your footage into it and let it do its magic. Then you can export it into a Premiere Pro timeline and correct any mistakes that it's made. This will take cutting footage from a multi-hour long process down to a 20-minute task. The next thing you can do to productize your editing is create something that I like to call a vault. A vault is just a separate Premiere Pro project filled with all the assets you'd ever need to edit a client's video. And if you're not making custom animations for every single video, then you really don't need that many assets. In fact, after this video, watch this video by Ed Lawrence. He goes through the only things you'll ever need to put in an edited video. And just to give you an idea, it's literally 4 things. And finally, I'd recommend subscribing to a licensing website like Envato Elements, because instead of manually creating every single animation, you can just license pre-made ones. And I know I'm going to get a bunch of hate for this by die-hard video editors, but if you really want to make money from editing, just do this. It's going to save you a bunch of time. Instead of manually keyframing out a title screen, you can literally just download one from Envato Elements. I know these softwares cost money, but it's literally going to be like $30 a month. And for the amount of time it's going to save you, it will let you take on thousands of dollars of more work. By the way, if you want my personal help to scale from 1,000 to 5 to 10k per month through video editing, then you can apply to work with me using the first link in the description. We guarantee you an extra 5k per month in the next 6 months. Therefore, we only take on 3 to 5 new students per month. So if this sounds like something that you're interested in, then click the first link in the description. Lesson number 2 is that hyperediting is dead. You see, the way that YouTubers are making money has completely changed. It's no longer the big channels like MrBeast who are making loads of money off AdSense. Instead, small creators make videos about really niche topics. Even if that video only gets 10,000 views, a large majority of them are going to click the link in the description and buy their digital product. So instead of making $100 off 10,000 views through AdSense, they'll make $10,000 from selling their own digital product. But here's the best part. These small creators selling digital products do not want hyper-edited videos. Hyper-edited videos appeal to young teenagers and literal children. This audience does not have much money at all. So instead, the editing style that they're looking for is more mature, to attract an older audience who has purchasing power. And this mature style is simple for us to edit. You could even say it is productized for us to deliver. Therefore, if they're making tens of thousands off our simple videos, we can still justify charging hundreds. And because it doesn't take much time at all to deliver, we can take on loads of clients. And this will make you a fuck ton of money. Lesson number 3 is that editing more is better than charging more. And I know this goes completely against what I've said in other videos, but honestly, the old advice that everyone else is talking about raising your price is useless. Now, let me explain. As you start charging more and more per video, the expectations of your clients goes up and up. If you're charging $1,000 for a video, they're going to expect an absolute masterpiece. And that masterpiece could take you up to 2 weeks to deliver. And $1,000 every 2 weeks, that's only $2K per month, which is a decent income, but I'm sure your ambitions are higher. So here's the solution that I propose. Instead of charging $1,000, $2,000 per video, we intentionally keep our prices low at $200, $300 per video. And because our prices are low, expectations are also lower. Sure, they're going to expect a high quality video, but they're not going to be expecting a hyper edited masterpiece. But this small shift allows us to edit way more videos every single week. Realistically, we could edit 2 of these per day. And if we're charging $250 a video, that's $500 a day. If we work 5 days a week, that's 2.5K a week, which obviously is 10K a month. This is 5 times as much as if you were charging $1,000 per video, and you can work way less. Lesson number 4 is that Twitter is a race to the bottom. Again, I acknowledge that I have been a strong advocate for Twitter in my previous videos, but over the past few weeks, I've seen a huge shift. A huge shift that is fucking over editors, and is making Twitter the reason why editors are staying stuck at a couple grand per month. It was something I noticed when I was hiring my first thumbnail designer. I tweeted out that I was looking for somebody to edit my videos, and literally within 10 hours it got 3.2 thousand views. And of that many views, I probably got about 100 DMs from thumbnail designers. And at first you might just think that I hired the best thumbnail designer, but I actually did something different. You see, out of the 100 people that DM'd me, I'd say about 50 were absolute dog shit. So no matter what their price was, I didn't even consider them. Another 25 of them were okay, and the last 25 of them were really good. So good that I couldn't even tell the difference between their thumbnails. Honestly, they were all amazing. So I have a choice of 25 thumbnail designers who are all really good. Who am I going to choose? Well, obviously, it's going to be the cheapest. This was great for me. I got an amazing thumbnail designer for an extremely cheap price. However, for the thumbnail designer market, I just fucked them over. By choosing the cheapest one, which I was naturally incentivized to do, I'm causing the Twitter market to become a race to the bottom. What else was I supposed to do? My DM list, I could scroll down and see all the prices. I was obviously going to click on the one with the cheapest price. And the same exact thing is happening to video editors, like my client Timeg, who honestly is an extremely talented editor. However, every single person he DM'd on Twitter, he got rejected by because his prices were too high for their budget. But his prices weren't too high. There are people in the world who will pay that price for his editing. However, he's just getting undercut by the masses of talented editors in third world countries willing and able to work at lower prices. Twitter is far too full of extremely talented editors willing to work at extremely low rates. Therefore, you're usually never going to win any work that is worthwhile. So in my opinion, your efforts are best spent elsewhere. Which takes me seamlessly onto lesson number 5. Cold email is king. Let's go back to my Twitter DMs when I was looking for a thumbnail designer. I could scroll through a list of hundreds of DMs and see all of their prices. I could compare them and pick the lowest one. However, if I got emailed by a thumbnail designer with his work and his price, he's in a competition of 1. I don't have anybody else in that moment to compare him to, making his price look way fairer. And as an editor, you can do the exact same thing. If you email a creator offering your editing, you are in a competition of 1. They have no one else to compare you to, increasing your chances that you will land that client. Of course, they might not be looking for a video editor, but volume combats that completely. If you email 200 creators, sure, most of them won't be looking for an editor, but for the 10 who are, you are in a perfect situation. Lesson number 6. Freedom is way more important than editing. This might sound obvious, but I see most editors doing the exact opposite. Sat at their desks, staring at their monitors for 12 hours a day, grinding out After Effects animations. Whereas they got into editing to make money to become financially free. But if you wanted to be free, why are you sat at your desk on After Effects all day? Do you see the contradiction here? Most editors got into freelancing for one thing, but ended up doing the complete opposite. I imagine you started editing to make thousands of dollars per month doing something you enjoy. so don't make it into something that you don't. If you don't want to learn After Effects, then don't learn After Effects. You can still make 10k per month from editing without knowing After Effects. Just because some editing guru has told you something doesn't mean it's true. If you don't want to work 12 hours a day, then don't work 12 hours a day. Nobody is forcing you to do so. Work the amount of hours you want and then price around that to make the amount you want to. It's stupidly simple, but nobody seems to be talking about it. Lesson number 7 is to charge high ticket retainers. Now there's a freelancing culture that came from Upwork and Fiverr called the gig economy. This is basically where you get hired to do one single project. And sure, you're getting paid. But once you've been paid, you start from scratch. You have to go out and find another gig. Honestly, you need to get this thinking out of your head. It's literally keeping you poor. You should only be taking clients on who are paying you a monthly retainer. A retainer is just a certain amount per month that they get charged every single month no matter what. Now, this might sound hard to do, but it's really not once you know what you're doing. When you're talking with a potential client, ask them if they want to discuss it over a call. Chances are they'll probably say yes. Then when you're on the call, just discuss the logistics. Discuss how many videos they need, what sort of videos they want, and how fast they need it delivering. And once they told you all of that, give them a monthly price. Just say that you work on a retainer model, and from what they've told you, that will be X amount per month charged monthly. Then on the call, you take an upfront payment for the month on the amount you agreed. And on Stripe or whatever payment process you're using, you set it up as a subscription. This one shift will take you from a broke freelancer to making a bunch of money every single month. Lesson number 8 is that routine drives results. I'm gonna be honest with you. If you're not making the amount of money you want to, the bottleneck 9 times out of 10 is you. If you're not where you want to be, the only reason is that you are not doing the work. But you know what work to do. So why aren't you doing it? Personally, I've found that it usually comes back to your mental health. If you feel like shit, you're just not gonna do any work. If you wake up, scroll Instagram Reels for an hour, go downstairs, eat some sugary cereal, then watch some Netflix, you're not gonna feel like doing work after that. So to break out of this cycle, you need to fix your mental health. And I know you've probably been told this bullshit in school, but here's the actual way to do it. Open up your notes app or get a piece of paper and just write down 5 things that make you happier. Here's some examples: working out, drinking water, going for a walk, speaking to family, or having a cold shower. Literally anything. And these are gonna be your non-negotiables. These are going to be 5 tasks that you have to do every single day. They do not have to be big tasks, just little things that flip your frame of mind, that take you from depressed and unproductive to somebody who can achieve their goals. And once your mental health is on lock, you will be able to stick to a routine that makes you do the actions to be able to achieve your goals. Now, there's no one be-all or end-all routine. Different people operate differently, so you just need to find something that works for you. The way I do this is get your goal and reverse engineer it. If you want to make 10k per month, work out how many emails you need to send or how many videos you need to edit, then work out the amount of hours you need to work. Fill that onto a calendar, put in your non-negotiables, a workout, a walk, and that's it. Just follow it every single day, and soon enough, you'll have achieved your goal. Lesson number 9, the more you invest, the more you grow. The truth is, you don't have any need to be hoarding cash. You're young, you shouldn't have any real financial ties, so you don't need huge cash reserves. Any money you make should be reinvested into your business. And I know people say this a lot and it sounds wishy-washy, but here's how to actually do it. There are 2 things you can reinvest in. The first being things that make your work more enjoyable. Because if something makes your work more enjoyable, you'll want to work more. And honestly, the more you work, usually the more you make. This is things like getting a new PC, upgrading your laptop, buying new AirPods, buying a new desk, or literally even buying a new keyboard. Anything that would make you want to sit down at your desk and use it. The second thing you should be investing in is learning. Like I said earlier, if you're not at your goals, it's usually because you haven't done the work. However, It can also be you don't know how to get to your goal. And sure, you could sit down, watch YouTube for 40 hours and try and find how to achieve your goal. But the easier way is literally paying people to tell you. Every single time that I've invested into a mentor to help me get to my goals, I've 10x'd my return easily. So if you're feeling stuck and lost, investing into education could be a huge move for you. Lesson number 10 is to build the business that you want. Most editors are begging for work. They'll take anything that comes their way. They'll even be working with dickhead clients who are mean to them and pay them nothing, just so they can make a bit of money. But is that really the life you want to be living? Do you see yourself doing this for the next 5 or 10 years? Obviously not. So instead, sacrifice the short-term cash. Is that $250 from that client you're editing 30 shorts for really worth it? No. Start thinking long-term and build a business around the life that you want. Instead of trying to find clients in the highest paying niche, find clients in a niche that you'd enjoy working in. Because the truth is, there's no highest paying niche, just the niche that you'll be stuck in for the next 5 or 10 years. So please pick something that you enjoy. Again, don't edit in the highest paying style, because there isn't one. Edit in a style that you enjoy doing in your day-to-day life. Ignore all the noise that you hear on social media. Build something that you enjoy. Build a business that supports the life that you want. My advice is just my opinion, and if you want to do something different, go for it. Just start making long-term plays instead of trying to get as much money as you can today. That being said, if you want to scale to 10k per month in the next 180 days using something that I call the Productize pipeline, then you can find out more by clicking the first link in the description. It's my one-on-one mentorship program where we take editors from $1,000 or $2,000 a month to 5 or 10k per month. Again, like I said earlier, the spots are limited. So if you're interested, take action now and click the first link in the description. The way I made 50 grand last year in just under 8 months wasn't by making hyper-edited videos. Honestly, some people would regard me as a bad video editor. And if you want to learn how I use that to my advantage, then click this video up here